Oh, hey guys, welcome back to another Merly on Time. My name is Chris. I unbox and review budget watches. Now, today I am going to be showing you two watches that, in my opinion, are better value for dollar spent than Pagani Design.
Oh, back it up, back it up. Beep, beep, beep.
I know, right? You guys know how much I love Pagani Design, but I gotta give it to Addies Dive. They have put together a watch that I think value for dollar spent is it's definitely one of the best value for dollar spent watches that you can get on Aliexpress. This one at the time of filming costs around 55 Canadian dollars. For American residents, that means you can get this one for under 50 bucks, and it packs a punch much higher than that dollar value. Let's get into it. So this is it, guys. This is the Addies Dive Sub Homage, Rolex Sub Homage. The green screen might be wreaking havoc a little bit on the dial. It is green. It's all green, bezel and dial. Again, 55 Canadian dollars for this one at the time of filming. Before we jump into the up close and personal, for those of you who have been following my channel, thank you so much for all your support. If you're new to Merly on Time Watch Reviews, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and of course, as you watch the video today, let me know in the comments what you think of this watch. Thank you so much for all your support. At 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a beautiful mechanical San Martin watch. So help me get to that 2,000 mark by hitting subscribe below. So thank you so much for that. With that, guys, let's jump into the up close and personal montage that I do in every review of this Hulk Sub Homage by Addies Dive. Check it out. So in order to state that this watch is better value for dollar spent than a Pagani Design, of course, I have to include a Pagani Design in the video and compare it alongside with this. Now you can see they're different colors, but we're just going to go through some of the things that make this watch a better value for dollar spent than this watch. This watch, I believe, is around $120 Canadian, more than double this watch. And it's definitely better in some areas, but this watch is surprisingly better in some areas as well. So let's just begin by just taking a look at this watch. There are a couple of trade-offs, obviously, that I noticed, obvious ones with regards to the price of this watch. Obviously, you're going to get a quartz movement, so you can see that this one has a quartz movement. And if you do pay attention, you'll notice that the seconds hand does not really hit many of the markers, but with a quartz watch, I don't really even pay attention to the seconds hand. It's not something that bothers me that much. Obviously, in the Pagani Design, you are getting an automatic. This particular one has the NH35 in it. So let's begin by just comparing the finishing on the watch. First of all, you can see that the finishing on this watch is actually pretty good. And when I say pretty good, I mean for 55 Canadian dollars. You have a mirror polished center link and brushed outer links, and a mirror polished side profile on the case. The Pagani Design, you might not be able to see on camera. The standard of finishing on it is better. By the naked eye, you can tell that the finishing on the Pagani Design is a little bit better. When you look at the Addies Dive, it almost is as if they, didn't spend as much time brushing the surface or polishing the surface than on the Pagani Design. It's just a little more refined on the Pagani Design, but you can tell close up by looking at them. On camera, perhaps not, but it's really not that much worse on the Addies Dive, to be honest. And again, you're looking at $55. Both are constructed of stainless steel, 316L stainless steel for the Pagani. I don't know if you get 316L for the Addies Dive, the surgical grade. It does advertise as stainless steel, so it might not be 316L. But again, I think that is a fair trade-off. As we talk about the bracelet, what you do get with the Addies Dive is just a pressed clasp. But the one thing about this watch that the Pagani Design doesn't do well, at least on the style of clasp that's on it, is usable micro adjusts. And so you can see you have 3 levels of micro adjust here. Fold over with double security pushers and a fold over clasp. Whereas the Pagani Design, the clasp is milled and it is definitely better. But the micro adjust on this one, you have to pop open the little diver's extension, get a tool in there, and the micro adjusts are inside the bracelet, and these are notoriously terrible for making adjustments. And some, like the watch that I highlighted in a couple of videos ago, the Milgauss Homage that they did, you couldn't even open the diver's extension to access the pin in there to do the micro adjustment, rendering that watch without any micro adjustment at all. And so while I would say the clasp is obviously better on that, there is actually more practicality on this pressed one because it has easier micro adjusts on it. Okay, so let's talk about the crown engagement. The crown on the Pagani Design is a little bit bigger, but you can see that the crown guards stick out, and on the Addies Dive they're a little less prominent, and I think it gives it a better aesthetic overall on the Addies Dive with respect to the crown and the crown guards. The Addies Dive crown is a little bit tight, but you can feel the gasket working in there to give it a good water resistant rating of 200 meters. And to be fair, the Pagani Design crown is a little bit gritty. I did add silicone oil to this one, as you have to do with a good number of them. So I would say they're about the same crown action-wise, but I give the Addies Dive just a little bit better because the crown guards aren't as prominent, and aesthetically, in my opinion, it just looks better. As you go on to the dial, there's obviously no points awarded over another with respect to the dial, with the exception perhaps of the Cyclops. Now you can see the Pagani Design. The magnification is pretty decent there. It's somewhat lined up on the Addies Dive. You have it's really misaligned, unfortunately, but I do like the fact that the magnification isn't as big on this one as it is on the Pagani. I think Pagani is like 3 times magnification. This one is 2.5. Now, to be fair, even though the Cyclops is a little bit misaligned, when you're wearing it on wrist and you do check the date, it's lined up for the angle of the wrist that you'll be looking at the date when you turn your wrist over, and you can see it okay. And I think they used the right size of magnification on the Addies Dive. However, a little bit misplaced. The one thing that surprised me on the Addies Dive that is better than the Pagani Design is the bezel action. So I'll let you have a listen to it. It's a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Really nice, distinct clicks. Have a listen. 0 back play, no wobble whatsoever on the bezel. It's just nice. Now the action on the bezel, and it lines up perfectly. The action on the Pagani Design. Have a listen in comparison. So the action on this bezel is actually quite good, but the teeth or the clicks on this bezel aren't as tight and distinct as on the Addies Dive. And so I would give the Addies Dive the win with respect to the bezel. And so, you're getting a really decent watch here. You have a ceramic insert for both of these bezels, I believe. And the dial itself, you can see there's some nice sunburst effect on the Addies Dive, maybe a little bit on the Pagani Design. It's a different dial. It's black. This one's green. But, there really is not much of a distinguishable difference in quality with respect to the dials. The handset on the Pagani Design is a little bit better. As you can see, it is slightly bigger, slightly larger on the hour hand than the Addies Dive. The Addies Dive has a slightly smaller hour hand, which someone did pick up on the unboxing of the Addies Dive. But when we're talking value for dollar spent, this one is like $120. This one is $55, and I think it knocks it out of the park for $55. One issue with the bracelet that I did notice is at the top where it joins onto the male end link. There is quite a bit of a gap between the end link and the next link of the bracelet, and it is a little bit wobbly. But on wrist, as you saw in the up close and personal, at the end of that, it looks great. You can't really see that issue on wrist. And again, just look at the finishing. I think you can tell the Pagani is just a little bit more refined, but not that much worse off on the Addies Dive for less than half the cost. The other thing I want you to notice is just how clean the Addies Dive dial is. Just one line of text above the 6 o'clock. You got 3 lines of text above the 6 o'clock on the Pagani. And I've already mentioned this briefly, but you get 200 meters of water resistance on the Addies Dive and only 100 meters of water resistance on the Pagani Design. Now, neither of these have likely been pressure tested, but based on the feel of the crown engagement and the fact that there is a noticeable gasket in there that is definitely engaging when you screw it in, I would venture to guess for sure that this water resistance is better than the Pagani. So there's another reason why this is a better value for dollar spent than the Pagani Design. What really makes the Addies Dive stand out is the Lume. It is absolutely fantastic. So let's just take a quick Lume comparison now. All right, guys, here you can see the Lume, and you can see an obvious difference right off the start. The Addies Dive's bezel is fully lumed. Now, I do have to give props to Pagani Design. They are improving on their Lume, and so just so you know, once you get to 15 minutes on this time lapse, if you can see, whatever you can see after 15 minutes is good Lume. Both of these watches have good Lume. The Addies Dive is much better. You can see as we approach the 15-minute mark, actually, that the minute hand on the Pagani Design is going to start to fade, and fade fairly quickly after that 15-minute mark. The hour hand on the Pagani has really good Lume. It reaches the 20-minute mark. But you can see on the Addies Dive, the bezel is still quite visible. All of the indices are still quite visible. The hour hand is still quite visible. They did a far, far, far better job of the Lume on this $55 watch compared to a watch twice its money. So there you go, guys. There's the Addies Dive. This watch is incredible for $56. Water resistance is better. The Lume, wow, way, way better. The material used is the same. The finishing isn't that much different. So for, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. For $55, this is fantastic. They come with different colorways as well. I will leave a link in the description below. Forgot to mention, just mineral crystal covering this dial, not a sapphire crystal, which you get with the Pagani Design. But again, there's just some other things that this watch has that I'm just blown away. Addies Dive, I think, is a company that is producing good watches for the money. Better at this point, I would say, than Pagani Design. That's my opinion. Shocking as it is, I love me a Pagani Design. In fact, I'm going to be showing a video soon of my Pagani Design collection. I have quite a good collection of Pagani Design watches. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you got an Addies Dive watch yet? And let me know what you think of them. If you own Pagani Design, let me know what you think is a better quality watch or a better value for dollar watch, Addies Dive or Pagani Design. Chime in the comments below. And thanks for watching another Merely on Time, guys. God bless you. Whenever you leave your house, you need to have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist like this Addies Dive Sub Homage. And wherever you're going, you need to get there on time. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next video.